So season 3 was a long time coming. We got delayed. You know, the pandemic stuff happened, but we're back at it. You're gonna learn a lot more about how we make things here at the distillery, a lot more about our local partners that we engage with, and you're gonna learn a ton about the building process on our new building. Well, you know, we've been making our Kekawanau gin tea coolers. We wanted to expand our repertoire, but there's a lot of other distilleries starting to make canned cocktails, so we wanted to make ours different. So I came up with the idea of putting rimmer on them. So if we have a pre-canned Caesar, the Caesar rimmer's on there, or a margarita, have the salt on there. We got Cosmos, we're thinking with that red sugar rimmer. It took a long time to figure out how to do it, but I figured it out. You gotta see this. So we're doing both premium Caesars and garlic Caesars. I had to get these little Frisbees made. I call them Frisbees. They're kind of like a Pringles lid. And underneath it here, we've got the rimmer on there already. And then this is a wide mouth can, so when you peel it off, it opens the whole thing and you can drink the rimmer all the way around. They're selling like hotcakes. We can hardly make them fast enough. Thankfully, Jess is working her butt off here, getting them packaged up. And then we've got a margarita version as well, where we've got salt on the rimmer here. Same wide mouth lid. The people that have seen these already are asking me, who's this guy that's sitting in a lawn chair in the middle of Moose Lake? This is my buddy John Hanley, actually, and he was known around Moose Lake out by Bonnyville as being the margarita man of the area. He had a little gas-powered margarita maker, and he would mix them up. It would make great summer days out there. He passed away a couple years ago, unfortunately, but in a full circle story, John is the guy that I got my very first still from. You know, we've been able to approach the Elks football team and be able to participate in their tailgating process. We drag Seymour down there, our mascot elk, and he's a feature at the tailgating, I'll tell you.
We've been season ticket holders for years and years, and they started doing this tailgating a few years back, and it's as much fun as the game, actually. So we brought Seymour down here today. We're going to see how many people we can get talked into giving him a smooch and doing the little ceremony that we have with them. So check this out. So in Newfoundland, they've got a ceremony where they, if you want to become an honorary Newfoundlander, they have a big spiel they give, and you put on a fisherman's hat. You do a shot of their terrible screech rum they have out there, and then you kiss a codfish. So we figured we'd make an Alberta version of it. So that's where Seymour came in here. Hard hat for safety. All right, a good old MSA. Can you pour the drinks, baby? Karen's gonna sneak by you there. So she wasn't very good at sneaking. Yeah, she wasn't. So Seymour, you got to put him in the mood first, right? Seymour. So you got to give him a little blow on here, give him a call. So you bite on the end of the thing and give it a blow as hard. Well, just put your lip around and blow as hard as you can. We soak in vodka between every guy to make sure it kills everything. Oh, yeah, okay. Good thinking. And then we're gonna give you a little shot of our sugar beet rum that we make here in Nisku. Okay. You got to give him a smooch, and then you get a chaser that's it's kind of like Bailey's, some other stuff. Double. I just bought a bottle. Did you really? Yeah. I'm glad you've heard of it. Yeah, well, I got your garlic too. Oh, I just need the horseradish. Right on. I got some here if you want to try Caesar with it. Yeah, we'll make you one. Absolutely. So just wrap your lips around, blow as hard. All right, there. That was a good one. All right. Little shot. Cheers. Give him a smooch. Hey! There you go. And a chaser. There you go. We're here today with Jerry Raxey. He's the president of Spirit of Edmonton. So tell us a little bit about the history of Spirit of Edmonton.
The Spirit of Edmonton started 46 years ago in Calgary. So when we're here in Calgary in November, we're going to be celebrating our 46th anniversary.
But it didn't start for the Calgary Stampeders. It started for us.
Yeah, there was a bunch of Edmonton businessmen started it up. There was nothing going on at the Grey Cup, and they just figured, well, let's just bring the Spirit of Edmonton into a hotel room, and that's how the name became the Spirit of Edmonton as well. It was created spontaneously, and yeah, we've been going 46 years strong now.
How many people are involved in the organization now?
There's 17 of us. We're all volunteers.
I know every Grey Cup that I've ever gone to, the Spirit Room is always the funnest room to hang out in.
You know, the really neat thing about the Spirit Room is because we're not just green and gold. Like, we get Stampeder fans in there, we get Rider fans in, we get Hamilton fans. We're really the CFL fans party headquarters for Grey Cup.
Absolutely.
And we're usually the only group open on a Thursday night. And for us, it's like a homecoming where everybody gets back together and reunites with all their old friends from last year's Grey Cup. Yeah. You know, so it's a lot of fun.
So you also have something else that's a little bit famous.
There's some juice that you have that's quite famous.
Well,
and that interests me because, as you know, I make vodka and whiskey and all that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, so our Sluice juice right here is it's a vodka-based product. We only serve it at our breakfast, and it's our Grey Cup breakfast is traditionally Saturday morning. That's Grey Cup weekend.
It's kind of a secret recipe.
It's a secret recipe. Yeah, we have 2 500-liter tanks that we mix it up in, and it starts serving at about 8:30 on the Saturday morning.
It's a good way to start the day.
Well, we call it breakfast because we have to call it something 8 o'clock in the morning, right?
Some guys haven't been to sleep.
So, no, they just come from our room to our breakfast and continue the party.
So our new building won't just be for weddings and corporate events. It's also going to be available for fundraisers. If people want to put on those kind of dinners, I know the Elks are planning a media scrum event there coming up in the near future. So if you've got some event like that coming along, this is the kind of place where we can fit 120, 150 people. And they will remember it as such a unique venue. I do a lot of different things, and one of the things I've done for years is tattoo, actually. Even went back to university and worked on my fine arts degree when I got real serious about it. Used to own a bunch of tattoo shops, and I still do tattoo a little bit, not very much, just for very close friends. And my very first tattoo convention I ever went to was the Lethbridge Tattoo Convention. So we're gonna go back there and see some old faces and some familiar friends.
So you may know that we source all of our ingredients from Alberta, and one of the places we source a lot of ingredients from is actually the Lethbridge and Tabor area. The sugar beet rum that we make all comes from beets that are grown in Lethbridge and Tabor, and they're processed in Tabor at the Rogers Sugar Plant, actually. So we're way down here at the Lethbridge Tattoo Convention. We're pouring some samples this weekend. I've been to this convention before in a different capacity as a tattoo artist, so this is a different perspective for me. We used to come here and vie for these belts and try and win a prize. Now we're just getting people to try our stuff and see if they like the rum and the double-double and the things that we're making. I guess I should say brum, since we're not allowed to call it rum, from the local ingredients that we use here. Tattooing at a tattoo convention is a very different environment than tattooing in a private studio. There's loud music, the lighting's quite poor, there's so many people coming by all the time and they're interrupting you. It's an extremely draining experience for a tattoo artist to have, but for a person getting tattooed, it's a pretty cool experience because the electricity in the air is unbelievable. Now, back when I started tattooing, nobody went by their real name. Back in those days, it was a bunch of bikers. That's what kind of who I learned from, and everybody kind of had a pen name. So because of my history with dental work, I went by the name Dr. Teeth. This hair goes back to like, I don't know, 15 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that. Karen says it's a good thing that she books my haircuts now. Steve, my brother.
Hey, dude.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Very good to see you.
Are you enjoying the show?
I am. This brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah, dude.
12 years ago, the very first ever Lethbridge Tattoo Convention, Steve and I were at it. That was the first show we worked together.
Yeah.
At the end of it, we thought it'd be cool if we kept track of the shows that we worked together by putting little ticks on our hands.
Yeah, I felt.
But you've only got one.
No. Yeah.
We actually have done 7 together.
7 together.
So we better get caught up on the ticks here.
Maybe
People ask me what these ticks are sometimes, and I tell them, well, depending on who it is, I make up a different story,
Yeah.
Some people I say, well, that's how many men I've killed when I'm trying to be tough, or sometimes I say that's how many times a day I have to eat to maintain this physique, You had mentioned maybe you could have our staff from the distillery come down and do a class at your facility.
That'd be awesome. Do it like team building, teach you guys how to choke people.
Is that something you do normally?
Team building sometimes, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's a more constructive way to do it than doing this all the time, right?
Yeah, it's a good way to blow off steam, and it's fun, and people don't realize how powerful they are sometimes, and it's nice.
Fair enough, yeah.
Or how powerless they can be, to be honest with you.
Yeah, humbling for some people, for sure. Yeah, I'd love to go try. I boxed for years, over 20 years, and coached, but I would not want to go against somebody that knows how to do MMA ever, or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or any of those.
Yeah, it's a different art. It's a different beast for sure. Combat sports is combat sports.
Fair enough. You have to have the same mindset for both. Yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure.
Like I wouldn't get in a ring and throw on 12-ounce or 8-ounce gloves and let somebody beat me to death. So.
That's fun.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. So.
All right, bro. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
After delay after delay after delay, we finally are ready to start pouring the foundation today. We got the Belair boys on site. Sean's helping out. I'm gonna be there helping. I don't know what they're gonna get me to do. I guess I'm the grunt today.
Now, did we ever luck out today? November 30th, and was it
Sun shining.
+5?
+2 right now.
How many times has it been -25 on November 30th?
It was -25 last Tuesday when we were supposed to pour, so
That's crazy.
this
So,
is perfect.
so this is our last foundation pour. Inland Cement's here delivering. You can hear the trucks beeping like crazy. Jordan and Seth are running the concrete truck. Sean's helping trowel. So hopefully after today it sets up nice and we can start framing, right?
Well, and you've even done a good job running the vibrator for us.
That's
making sure
true,
it gets
absolutely.
into the bottom.
That's the only job they trust me with,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah. So you moved a heck of a lot of dirt here before this prep work. We started in August.
We started in August and we moved dirt for over a month just to get this rolled out to where it was. Had a few surprises along the way,
Some big rocks we ran into.
but it was a lot different ground than what we thought we were getting ourselves into from the start. That's
Yeah, some issues with the piles not having enough torque on them originally. We
Yeah,
had
it
to go.
turns out right at the lake bottom, there's not much to set up on there. So redesign a few things, but nothing we didn't overcome. So piles are in, concrete's just about done after today, and then start cutting logs,
You can go all winter long.
and then we're building.
All right, let's get back at her.
It's gonna look good.
Cheers.
Let's go.
I'm gonna introduce you guys to Monty Rickens from Monster Inc. And his wife Leslie's tattooing over here. We're at the Lethbridge Tattoo Show. And Monty and I go back quite a ways. You know, I used to be a tattoo artist. I still do a little bit, but did it for a long time. And I did a portrait of my daughter, Sierra, but I'm right-handed, so I needed somebody to do a portrait of my other daughter. And Monty hooked me up. He's a great black and gray artist. Usually tends to win all the awards at these shows. No, you don't think so?
Hey, I always think of it like you can never score if you don't take a shot at net. So I like to play the game, and I like to put my stuff up against anybody. So
Absolutely. So you guys are located in Medicine Hat still?
yes, you bet.
And how many years you been going now, Monty?
I'm coming up on 20 years now.
That's a long time in this industry.
It makes me feel really old, Jeff.
You know, I will look around here and it looks like a bunch of kids here. It's crazy. I started in '94, so yeah, it's a long, long time
you
ago.
have many years on me there.
But as long as you evolve as an artist and keep up with current trends, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
I love to see the cycles happen. You know, they got into that, neo-traditional stuff with the big fat lines. Now it's kind of trending back towards thin line work.
Yeah.
Back to single needle pretty soon, like how we started. It's pretty crazy. Well, pretty soon I'm gonna have to hit you up for another portrait, my friend, because
That'll be my pleasure.
I don't have one of my son yet. I've been teasing him for years that I got the girls on my arms and I'm gonna put him on my rear end, but I won't do that to you.
I appreciate
All
that.
right, cheers. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, honey, that's a wrap for the weekend. I'm exhausted. Thank you for putting up with 3 days of pouring samples here.
As you know, we don't like to put sugar in any of our products, so we're getting creative and we're harvesting some fluid. Now, it's not as creepy as you might think. It looks like it when you just see the visuals, but follow us out into the birch forest.
Hi everyone, today we're out north of Stony Plain with our friend Seth Belair. You might have noticed Seth from some past episodes. Him and his brother Jordan are going to be building our new building. And Seth is a multi-talented guy. He's an instrumentation guy, an electrician, you've got a sawmill, and you turned out to be a good resource for birch syrup. So Seth's got some birch trees on his property. You're going to take us out and show us how this is done today?
Yeah, absolutely.
We only, according to Seth, we only have a couple of weeks to harvest this birch syrup, and we're going to be boiling this down to use it as a sweetener for our kick teas. Thomas is going to be coming out here every day because his place isn't too far from here and harvesting the
the birch water and boiling it down. So you're going to be spending a lot of time watching a pot boil.
Yeah, I'm excited actually.
Are you?
Yeah, totally.
Haven't done anything like this before?
No, first time.
All right, well, let's go check these trees out.
All right.
Yeah.
So in all your years at the restaurant, did you ever use birch syrup for anything?
Never heard of it. So
This looks like something that came from the distillery.
Yeah, for sure it is.
This is some of our heads, isn't it?
Yeah. So we need to sanitize all the drill bits and the spiles. Otherwise, you know, any fungus that's on ourselves or on the tools can get into the tree.
What's a spile?
Sorry, the spile is the spile is the tap that you
Put into the tree?
You put into the tree, or the piece
Oh,
that
okay.
you tap into the tree after, and that's what seals off the hole and then lets the sap come out down into our collection.
Well, we
pot.
definitely don't want these trees to get sick from anything that we do from them, because we want to be able to come back and do this year after year after year,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
how deep do we go with this? What do you call them? Spile?
With the spile.
Yeah. How deep we go?
So we drill the hole about 2 inches,
That much,
and the spile just sticks in about ½ an inch, just enough to make a seal.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you can't drill too deep into the heartwood, otherwise you can end up killing the tree as well.
Oh wow.
This is what we're gonna do: is sterilize them now, and sterilize the drill bits, and then we'll go
Put it
ahead
all
with
in here. Okay.
drilling.
All right, get that heads in there. The heads are not useful alcohol. It's stuff we would normally get rid of. We actually use it around the distillery as a sanitizer. It kills mold like you wouldn't believe at the distillery. So I can imagine it's going to do the exact same job for us on these birch trees. It's
Yeah.
good. So that's been in there long enough. They should be sanitized. Let's go over to the tree. You got your drills?
Yep, for sure.
All right. Oh, one for Thomas too?
Yeah, please.
Perfect. You're actually doing some work today. There's lots of birch trees here.
So how do we know which tree to tap? How can I tell which one is good and bad?
Typically we want to go for something at least 8 inches in diameter. Anything too small is not going to flow enough. The bigger the better, they're going to flow the best. But they also have to be healthy, so no dead stuff up top. You know, and just the general condition of the tree. If it looks like it's rotten and starting to fall over, then we'll pass on it.
Is there a height we have to attack to put it in there? Doesn't matter where you go,
Up.
high or low?
About 3 to 4 feet off the ground, something comfortable.
Okay, this looks like a pretty healthy tree, right?
Yeah, should be good.
All right, show us how it's done.
Should actually be able to tap them both, and being side by side, we can use one collection bin, but we'll go for this one. We got a nice flat face here. You want to go on a little bit of an upward slope, not too much, but just so that the natural drain runs out of the
That makes
spile.
sense, yep. You're funneling down into the, what's it called again?
The spile.
Spile, all right.
It's a tough one. It's wet already, so it's
Pouring out of there already.
You get a bucket right now.
That tastes so sweet. Thomas, come taste this.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Oh, wow.
So basically, we just have to take it and make sure that the hole is clean. It's flowed out a little bit, so all the shavings have, anything extra has come out. Yeah. Give it a little bit of a tap in there just to make sure that it's sealed.
Oh yeah, look at that dripping out of there.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Hold on. Oh, don't want to waste any.
Hey, you're getting all kinds of bark in there.
Sorry,
Oh man.
we're gonna boil it anyways.
That
Sorry,
I'm gonna have to fire you on the first day.
I didn't want to waste any of it.
You know what's crazy about this? The rate that that's dripping out of there is pretty much like exactly the rate that a still runs at. If you're back in the moonshine days when Mike and I were moonshining, a lot of people think that when a still's running, it's a steady stream that comes out of there. But if you're doing it right, it's drip, drip, drip. It's amazing. How many of these have we got to do?
We got 50 in the pot right there, so.
All right, let's find
better get
49
ours.
more trees here. Last year, how much were you getting a day per tree?
Some of the bigger trees, I was getting a gallon in the morning and a gallon at night.
So two a day,
2 gallons
yeah.
a day out of each tree.
And out of, I remember, out of 1,200 liters, you only ended up with how many liters of actual syrup by the time you boiled it all down? I think it was only about 9 or 10 liters.
9 or 10 containers.
And you were boiling for how many hours a day?
It takes about 5 or 6, and then
Hours?
constant boiling.
Yeah.
And then you let it sit in the crock pot to steam off to get it right down
Right
to
down to actual
the
thick syrup, yeah.
we use to plug the hole after we're done with the job?
So once we're done, we'll pull the spile out, and you have to seal the hole off. Otherwise, it's just like getting a cut that you can never stop bleeding. So you
Put a Band-Aid on
You
it then.
basically got to put a Band-Aid on the tree. And the way that I've done it in the past is just take actual birch branches, the right size of the hole, and you just taper them down enough that when you pound them in, they'll wedge in there.
Okay, that's what this is here.
That's
then.
what this
Oh,
is
okay.
here.
Yeah.
And then the tree, just like if it gets cut or hit, it will grow a skin, and it can clot itself kind of thing, grow scab. That's essentially what it's doing, is it's sealing itself off and then it's repairing its skin.
Saying you wouldn't want to drill in this same spot each year, right?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And typically you try to give the trees a year in between, just so that you're not draining them completely.
Too much. That makes sense. Yeah, you don't want to stress them, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I started training as a distiller, I sure never thought I'd be out tapping birch trees in order to get birch syrup so that we could use it as a sweetener in a canned cooler that we were making. You never know where this is going to lead you. So after hours and hours and hours of boiling, Tom is sitting over a hot pot sweating to death. This is how much birch syrup we get from 500 liters of birch sap. That's it. So it's a labor of love, I'll tell you that.